Welcome everyone. My name is Samuel Buissereth, and this is NAAHP, the National Alliance for the Advancement of Haitian Professionals. We're excited to have you here, along with our colleague that we're going to spend some time speaking about what they do and how they're going to contribute to our conference this year. It's a pleasure to have you all here, and I'm glad that you all spent time and made the time to show up and chat and listen to us today. Once again, my name is Samuel Buissereth. I'm one of the marketing managers here at NAAHP, and we're excited. We're excited for a number of reasons, but there's only one reason that matters right now, and that's because this is our 10th annual conference. That's right, 10th. And we're excited because, well, particularly me, I'm excited because it's going to happen in my hometown, Atlanta, Georgia. You heard that right. The Mecca of all things amazing. I know I'm biased in that way, but hey, I suggest you show up and find out for yourself. The 10th annual conference of NAAHP, and we're excited. It's awesome at the fact that we are an organization and association that's been around for this long, and the fact that we started young and we started fresh and we still are here, and it shows that our growth is continual and that we appreciate all of you who have contributed in some type of way over the years. Thank you, thank you, thank you. With that said, it's only fitting that we introduce some of the people that have made this possible and who have probably been around for a while now too. One of the things that we're excited that is going to happen this year is that we have two tracks that you're going to be able to choose from and enjoy and learn a lot of information that's valuable to not only your professional career, but also your culture and heritage, and you as a Haitian. We're excited about it. One of the things that's important for us this year too is the networking aspect, being able to dive in to all of the folks who are going to be there. Nous tous Haitiens, and so it's going to be an awesome time with one another to be able to celebrate all that we've accomplished and to tackle some issues that we know we can accomplish together and fix as well. So thank you for joining us for this conversation. One of the beautiful things about this type of environment is that we get to listen in on the inside scoop of what we have to offer in the conference. So this is your sneak peek, if you will. One of the two tracks that we are going to have, we have two tracks. One of them is going to be professionalism and professional development. And the other one is going to be Haiti and Haitian diaspora engagement. Those are going to be our two tracks that we're going to treat during the conference time. And in one of those tracks, we have here today a special guest that means a lot to us because they're going to be sponsoring one of these tracks, in particular, the Haiti and Haitian Diaspora Engagement track. So if you are a part of that track, make sure you give this organization a nice shout out because they mean so much to us and the success of the conference. In particular, this gentleman in front of me is not only part of this phenomenal organization, but he's also part of our host committee during the conference. You heard that right. So you get to hear the inside scoop of not only a sponsor of our conference, but also a member of that host committee that we have set up. So let's listen in and find out more about this organization and this gentleman in front of me. And welcome, I want to say welcome to our good dear friend, Pierre Noel. Welcome to NAAHP and our conference series that we are talking about this day. We thank you so much for making the time to show up and just have the great conversation about this conference that we have coming up. So please introduce yourself to the audience and tell them what you do, who you represent, and a little bit about yourself, and we'll start this conversation off.
Hey, thank you, Samuel. Thank you. It's a pleasure, and I'm grateful for the invitation to join you on this platform and provide and have this conversation. I'm Pierre Noel. I'm the executive director of the Haiti Development Institute. I have been in this position for now 14 years. And it's a pleasure for us to actually not only support this conference this year once again, but also to for me personally to serve as on the host committee and really lend a hand in terms of the conceptual development of the conference and its programming and so forth. Uh, I am here in the Boston area. I have been. I'm a as you would imagine. I was born in Haiti, but I've been in Boston for quite some time, and going on to over 30 years now. Outside of time, I spent some time in DC, about 4 years, but I came back. My family is here, and I came back here. So I'm from Boston. Looking forward to coming down to Atlanta. It will be my third trip, and for us, this is an interesting conference because provides a platform for the type of conversation that we've been pushing for so long. Because when we first created the organization, one of the gaps that we wanted to fill was the lack of conversation, the lack of collaboration, lack of partnership, which also give rise to lack of planning. And without that level of concerted effort, we cannot really come together and develop the type of country that we want to see Haiti, but also in terms of planning and collaborating to see the diaspora being the force that it should be, the force that it can be. So that's the reason why there's always going to be an interest for us to support this conference, because it helps bring us together in terms of thinking about what it is that we can do to make our lives and our communities here in the US better. And in that sense, how do we then connect to do better in Haiti? So this is a great platform for us.
Oh, that's fantastic to hear, Pierre. I think that the like-mindedness is there already, and you can tell by the buzz that's happening around the nation that the diaspora want to get involved, need to get involved. And because of events that have transpired, there's a new sense of urgency, a resurgence of getting involved and making sure that not only our legacy continues on, but there's something to show for it throughout the generations. So I agree. The conference is going to be a fantastic time to be able to get to know, because there are still people out there that don't believe that there are Haitians in Georgia. Abdullah. So I'm excited to show them some Southern hospitality. So if, like you said, you're in Boston and that New England can come on down and represent, I'm excited about it.
Oh, absolutely. The thing is, when and this is the same thing that I get to talk about even here in Boston, for example, that we talk about Greater Boston, and then at the same time, the Haitian community has grown so much outside of Greater Boston. Now we're in Western Mass, we're growing in South Shore, we're growing in North Shore. It's the same thing in terms of when I first came here, it was New York, was Miami or Florida, if we want to say the state, and Massachusetts, but more or less everybody says Boston, right? So it was really these three, but at that time, at the same time, we knew Georgia was actually booming because we all had families moving to Georgia. And at the same time, we also knew that there were Haitians growing in Illinois, in Chicago specifically. And now we all know that there are growing Haitian communities pretty much across the country now. So this is why this platform is so important for us. It comes back to one of the things and about the Haiti Development Institute. When the reason why I wanted to join and work for the Haiti Development Institute is because it provided the opportunity to actually put Haitians at the center of conversations so that we can actually be the leader of our own development, the leader of our own destiny. Yon pi bon auteur que moi préféré is Antenor Fumet. And one of the things he says is notre destinée et notre propre doit être notre propre ouvrage. Destinée nous c'est nan men nou lié.
C'est ça.
And that to me is key. We have to come together, and there's no way for us to come together by having to be in the same space, share the same space, so that we can have the conversations. We're not supposed to have the same thoughts, but if we combine them, we can strategize around how we actually can improve our welfare for the whole. And that's the reason why I want to harken back to the work we do.
Yes.
The Haiti Institute, it's now the Haiti Institute, but it is actually the legacy of the Haiti Fund at the Boston Foundation.
Yes, I want to get more into that. I'd like to know more, because I think there's an interesting history and background, because if you've been there for 14 years, there's something there that we have to unpack. So let's rewind to day one.
Day one, unfortunately, and this is the sad part, but also there's good in it. The sad part is the Haiti Fund was started 2 days after the devastating earthquake that took place in 2010, in January 2010. At that time, I was working for another organization. Just a background on myself. After law school, I worked for a few firms, and then I decided that I wanted to do a career change, and I went back to school for international development. And since then, all my offers were in Haiti. So I took a job in Haiti. I moved my family to Haiti. We stayed there for 3 years, living and working in rural communities across Haiti, working with women, farmers, and teachers and young people across Haiti, especially in rural mountains. But while there, I came here for Christmas vacation, and then I was supposed to leave, going back home on January 14. And as you know, the earthquake took place 2 days before. And while here, I'm going through the emotions, and we're reeling from the impact of that earthquake. But 2 days later, I'm hearing about this Haiti Fund starting at the Boston Foundation. It's one family who wanted to do something for Haiti at the time, and they wanted to do something different. So they put together $1 million, and they started this fund, and they said, we will raise to match it.
Wow!
In a month, they raised $1.2 million. So, and that was supposed to be spent over 5 years. And the goal of the Haiti Fund at the time was to support the Haitian American community here in Greater Boston, to help it in terms of help. It was more of like a good neighbors intention, in terms of, we have this huge Haitian American community here. How do we best support them in this time of need? Ou konen e proverbe haïtien qui dit léger prend coup dans courir de l'eau, et puis ou konen l'autre proverbe qui dit c'est l'on a problème, l'on a malheur quand tu gen bons amis. So this gesture of creating this fund was really this community here saying that they were going to come, and showing that they are good friends to the Haitian American community here. And that's how it started. Started by helping people here in Boston, helping them with as they were coming from the earthquake, supporting them with immigration, supporting them, especially kids who left Haiti immediately after the earthquake, helping them get into schools, and provide case management with mental health, psychosocial support. And then we also were deeply involved in advocacy. We supported the Haiti Advocacy Working Group that was doing a lot in DC at the time. It was really helping to make sure that we could see a different way, a better way of spending the relief effort, so that we could do more in recovery, so that we could do reconstruction instead of spending too much in relief. So that was that was our advocacy at the time. We even actually spoke at the UN meeting, advocating there. But the bulk of our money really went into Haiti, and at that time we made a couple decisions. One, decentralization. So for that matter, we didn't support anything in Port-au-Prince, because we thought that if we could spend in developing the countryside, that would actually go a lot further, because there's a lot of people who died in Port-au-Prince simply because they couldn't find what they needed to do in where they were. So they had to come to Port-au-Prince. So decentralization and deconcentration was key for us, and it remains a principle for us now. The other thing we wanted to do was local leadership. So we supported local leadership. We supported only local organizations that were led by Haitian leaders and in rural communities. Overall, in 5 years, we made 145 grants, small grants from $10,000 to $25,000 in local communities. Some of them supporting women working 30, there were a group of women of 60 creating cooperatives of supporting them. And then we also have organizations that were leading communities through irrigation, building irrigation canals and raising the production level. So that was what we were at work doing, but it was supposed to end in 5 years. So in those 5 years, before those 5 years, we decided that we would do a study to identify what our legacy would be. And that legacy then became now the Haiti Development Institute, which has now been created and is locally registered as a Haitian entity in Haiti. And we now have an office in Arcahaie. We currently have 36 staff in Haiti.
That to me is a remarkable story, and to see the development, the progress, and to hear how it's turned into something this amazing and have grown over the years is a testament to a few things. One is that grassroots involvement, they do work. And when you have a team of people who know the goal and know what it takes to accomplish it, and then also people that are ready to get involved and understand what the mission is for, and then to see it last long over the years and continue and not just die off. I mean, longevity is proof that it works. So congratulations on you all being able to be that. Yeah.
I'm glad you mentioned mission. And one thing, part of our work, and the reason why I wanted to do this work is because I felt that there's a need. We had a number of gaps. One, there's a lack of resources going to rural communities in Haiti. When folks tell you that they're doing a lot in Haiti, that's true. There's a lot going on in Haiti. However, a lot of it is concentrated in Port-au-Prince. That's why so many times we had an article that we had published recently that was titled "Haiti, Port-au-Prince is not Haiti," and I wanted also to emphasize institution over individuals. And that's why we wanted to create an institution. So HDI for us is that, and to be that institution, a stoic institution that should stand the test of time, that is dedicated and led by Haitians, dedicated to community development across Haiti. And that for us is key, because we are really thinking about three different things. One, we believe that you have to build communities. If you build 100, we now have 142 cities or municipalities in Haiti. If you build 142 strong, vibrant, thriving cities, you build Haiti.
Yes.
However, if you concentrate simply on talking about Haiti, then you keep going back to Port-au-Prince.
That's
So
very
our
true.
work, our work is intrinsically built to empower local leaders, local organizations, local leaders, look in the public sector, so that they can actually have the skills, the tools, and the connections they need. We have three different work.
Okay.
We build one of our pillars is capacity building, and by that it's simply giving people the skills, the tools they need. When we find, for example, find an organization and then we provide coaching, and our coaching goes deep. You know, most people provide, like they send you to a training,
Right.
and then they say you go back, you change your organization. For us, it doesn't work that way, because we understand that it goes much deeper than that. Change, social change takes a long time, and it requires long-term accompaniment. You have to be there, because so many things impact the work that people are doing. So what we do is we come in, we work with you, we provide training, and then we send our staff to your organization, whether it's in Jacmel in the mountain, whether it's in Zoranger, whether it's in Maniche in the mountain. Our people, they stay with you for maybe a week or two. They help you put your system together, your financial system, your operating system in terms of your administration, and then help you understand how you can develop your projects, your evaluation system. We put all of that together with you, and then when we leave, we don't say goodbye.
No.
We also put in place a way so that we and you can continue to talk to each other, so that we can monitor how you're growing through the process, because we understand it can be impacted. So we continue to stay in touch. You share information with us. We provide back office support to you. And every 6 weeks or so, sometimes 4 weeks, we go back on the field. We do a 1 day or two visit. If it's a place that, you know, some of the places you can only go on a motorbike or you have to walk. So we stay there just to make sure that you continue to leave what has been and implement what has been put in place. That's the way we do capacity development, because we think it strengthen the effectiveness of the organization. And then the other part of that is, if you provide that work to the organization, that organization needs funding.
Right.
So we provide funding so that organization, when we say you have to implement your financial system, we provide some funding so that you have enough you have some implementation going on. And then we also help you connect with other funders, so that you can get more resources into your community. But at the end of the day, for us, it's not the organization that's the important piece, it's the community. That's why we also, part of our work is also a community development planning. We work with you for 6 months or so, and then you organize your community so that you can get to a point where you can tell, these are our needs, these are our assets, and that way you can prioritize your needs, and then you can take care of them one at a time as funding comes. And we are still there with you because we understand there are gaps. For example, most of the funding comes from places that speak only English, and some people in the mountains, they don't speak English.
That's
So
true.
that's where HDI comes in. When we find a resource, we send it to them. We say, are you interested? Because we're not going to do it for you. Are you interested? If you say you're interested, then we are here to accompany you through the process. We help you put the proposal together. We can help you send it together. But at the same time, we want to make sure that you are the one taking ownership of it.
Right.
And then to ensure that you can send that email out, we also make sure that we look at your infrastructure. If you don't have a computer, we look for resources to see that you can equip your office with a computer, with a laptop, and also like two solar panels so that you can actually run and have electricity to run this. So we look at the whole. And the reason why we wanted to create that institution is because we knew that you couldn't achieve your goals if you only come and parachute out, or you parachute in and you parachute out. That's why HDI had to be institutionalized, because our doors are open today for organizations that we used to work for 8 years, 10, 12 years ago. Because when they have grown, they have outgrown our resources. However, when they have an issue, they come back and say, can you help us with this? We're still there to help them. That's the kind of support that we think organizations, communities actually need across Haiti. And it helps because it's a way for communities to make sure that they're not just getting a handout, they're also getting the support, the accompaniment they need, and making sure that our doors are never closed for those who need the support to actually catalyze change in their community.
Oh, that's well laid out right there. I think oftentimes we misconstrued a lot of what it takes to be able to implement good practices, resources, and tools, and eventually change in a community. We're talking about layers of infrastructure, and then even the mindset itself has to be there too. So the fact that we have you all as an organization that is able to get into the nitty gritty and fine tuning of aid in Haiti this way is life changing. I've been involved in the community development aspect practically before I was born. and so to hear this type of movement is refreshing, because far too long, like you said, people parachute in and parachute out, and there's no lasting change or longevity to the aid and support that we can bring as diaspora to our beloved country. There's something to say when aid is given, and I think this analogy is shared throughout all kinds of languages and cultures, right? If you teach a man how to fish, you'll feed him for more than just a day, versus when you just catch the fish for him, they have no skills to attain to. So it's refreshing to hear that. I mean, come on, when you look at some of the things that organizations are doing, it's like, do we dare say, a people grab or a money grab? And it's so sad to see, because it shouldn't be this way. So to hear you talk about how Asia has laid it out step by step, process by process, incremental change, I think is what comes to mind. It's thank you.
Change is key. Change is key. And, now that we're going to 15 years, and, I kind of think about NAAHP when I look at our journey, because we're just a few years older, like a big brother, so to speak. But in a way, it's pretty much that level of commitment that it takes for from people to, the steadfastness that it requires to build an organization. Absolutely. And to ensure that it remains, it sustains.
Mm-hmm.
You can sustain it, because building something is one thing. Sustaining it, maintaining it is another. So, and I want to give you a couple of examples.
Please do, because I want to hear, how did you get involved with NAAHP? Yes.
A couple of it, yes. So there are a couple of examples of the trajectory of, we for the most part, we work with local communities, in local rural communities, and the organizations we support or work with are very much locally led, grassroots, as you mentioned. And our work is really to empower and enable the grassroots. And over the past 15 years, we've made $5 million in grants.
Awesome.
To local organizations, about 250 organizations. I mean, we have a deep reach in communities, in places that people have not been before. A lot of people have not been, because most of these communities are the disenfranchised communities. Right. And with respect to our capacity building program, we've we have a cohort program where we take 10 organizations at a time, and they go through a 24-month process together. And they learn, they share, they teach each other, and they connect. And we also have another program where we provide the service, like we accompany them to a nonprofit accompaniment program. And then the other thing is civic leadership and convener. We actually think that information is important, because it feeds how people think about change and how people think about the future. That's a pillar for the work. When you give people, you help provide funding, you help them build capacity, and then you can help them come together, create the space to talk. Like some communities, people don't, there are times they don't talk to each other, but if you can create the space,
yes,
you can actually learn so much. And then if you learn that much together about yourself, then it helps you to think about how do you plan to be to build your destiny and change it. It gives people stick in their community. That's what we do. And then to do that, you need research and data, because data is gonna help you, for example, know how many schools are in Manish, for example.
True.
How many children are in Manish? What's the rate of birth in Manish? And if you know the rate of birth, you know how many kids will turn 6 and will need a bench or in school, in that
uniform,
that uniforms and so on. So that way you know how to plan to educate these kids. So that type data, that's why data is so important, because if you put people in the room and you provide them the right data, we can actually have information that feeds how we design our projects and how we design our programs to change those communities. The other thing we do is philanthropic advising. There are things that we don't give. There are money that we don't give or we don't invest, but we connect the donors or the investors with the people who have the needs. For example, we did a trip with MCE Capital, for example, about 20 something, 21 people came. Those people are investors. They support organizations, and they provide funding that guarantees loans to people across the world.
Wow.
So when you get a loan in let's say in Chile or in Haiti now, your loan, there's a guarantee, and that money comes from those people. After that trip, they invested in $1.1 million.
Wow.
And then and so forth. We used to hold these trips once a year, but we can't do that anymore, as you know, because of the way things are in the country. But we serve as a philanthropic advisor and an intermediary where people would want to give in Haiti to a local community or to serve something. They can't do it because of some legal constraints. Through us as an intermediary, we're able to make the investment on their behalf, and then we do the due diligence on their behalf. We also do all the monitoring, site visits, and so forth on their behalf. So we serve in a way as a way to bridge gaps and get resources in rural communities. But the key for our connection to NAAHP is our convening role.
Okay.
We believe we need to come together, because at the end of the day, if we don't speak together, there's a likelihood that we will actually waste a lot of resources.
I agree.
When we first started, we realized that there was a lack of communication and collaboration. People were doing the same things, and because they don't talk to each other, it doesn't actually provide as much. The outcomes are not great. The impact, therefore, is not much. So we also realized that the people who were giving money in Haiti were also not talking to each other at times.
Yes, that's
because they were funding the same people, the same problems, the same issues in the same geography at times.
In the United States, we call that double dipping.
So we created the Haiti Funders Conference, and it was a way in 2013, for us to bring all the people who were investing in Haiti in the same room, talk to each other. We also brought the Haitian government to the room so that they can actually share the priorities of the Haitian government, so that the people who were spending could align with those priorities as they know them. And also, we also brought the people who were doing work in communities in the room, so that they can share what implementing in rural communities across Haiti looks like, so that there could be a way to share information, but also to inform how funding can be improved across the country. So that's been there for us. But we do webinars. We have sector convenings, like health sectors. We every now income in Haiti as well as here. We really think that if you can bring people together, they can identify the issues, but they can also identify the levers for change and push those levers. So that's why when NAAHP, the first time NAAHP came to Boston, the first conference was at Harvard, I believe.
Harvard.
Yes. We started we started sponsoring and supporting this work, and we have been supporting ever since. And last year, it was held at the University of Massachusetts. We were also there. It's really because this is at the heart of our work.
Wow.
We believe that we Haitians have to lead the way. We can't leave the work for others to do. We do need help from others.
Sure.
However, we have to take the lead, and for us to take that lead, we have to come together. And the diaspora, as you know, as I mentioned in the beginning, it's a two-pronged work, because
Work.
we have to work to better the communities we live in right here,
Yes.
create a better voice for ourselves, and engage better in the welfare of our communities here. And at the same time, how do we then leverage our our communal knowledge, expertise, and power to impact work back home?
That's true.
So NAHP does both.
Awesome. Yes, yes, absolutely. That is excellent, because part of the conversation that has to be ongoing is that if we all are in our own niche and in our own separate worlds, how do we plan on becoming a superpower that is able to contribute to an entire country, right? I think it's an ongoing conversation that if we don't remind every generation to be able to be mindful, to network, togetherness, collaboration are all amazing things to do so that we can get things done in our own right. I think one of the most devastating things to hear is when you have 5, 10 different Haitians doing the exact same thing, and for a number of reasons, they have never collaborated with one another. Well, we want you all to know that in a particular environment like this, one of our proactiveness agendas, if you will, is to make sure that you meet someone that resonates with what you are doing, and that you get to have a great conversation. And then there is a team effort that is built out of that entire experience. I think one of the things that I wanted to ask you, Pierre, is that over the years, what have been some of the things that you would like more of from the diaspora in general?
The diaspora plays such a key role in in Haiti. Uh, Financially, it's a lifeline.
Yes.
However, if we the one thing that's missing is organizing,
Okay.
and I believe it's important for the diaspora in whichever wherever we are in in each of our own very own communities, to be better organized, better connected. And we lack strategy.
Yes.
Right, like we have issues, and we have organizations, we have leaders that are all, to the best of their knowledge and their capacity, trying and attempting to solve these issues. They're
Mm-hmm.
doing the best they can.
Mm-hmm.
However, what's lacking is a strategy. And then, for what one example is, let's say you're in Boston right now.
Right.
How can we bring all the organizations that are serving this population, the greater Boston population? We come together, not so that we become one organization, but we create, we coalesce behind a strategy, and each of us, we continue to do our part, but a part to advance that strategy.
Right.
And that's the missing part, I think, because, and if we can get to that, we can be more strategic in our response to pretty much everything, to how we serve our community, to how we respond to how people think of us, and how people treat us, and also we can actually think about how do we build the communities that we want to see for our children, and how do we create a legacy in those communities right here in the United States where we live, but that will have a footprint of our communities, of the Haitian communities. And that to me is how the diaspora in the greater Boston or Massachusetts, if you want to say that, can be better. It's around that. How do we coalesce around a vision of a community that is better than each of our work, but would actually immensely impact our work, because together we can do a lot more. And then from that point, imagine we could do the same in New York, we can do the same in Georgia, we can do the same in Florida. And as we do that, we all connect. And to me, that's where NAAHP is very important, because it actually provides a platform for some of that conversation to take place, although be it we can't do a lot in a conference, but conversations have to start so that conversations can build movements. You can't build a movement without that first conversation. I grew up with my grandfather, and the first thing he says, if two people sit together, they can it's the start of everything big. So the diaspora, I think that's the first thing. And the other thing I think that also is we miss a lot is we think of the diaspora as only diaspora that seeks to serve Haiti.
Right.
And I think that would be a grave mistake for us, because we are here. We have second, third, and fourth, I think.
Yes, fifth generation.
Fifth generations, because if you imagine the Toussaint Louverture's family, were here, and W.E.B. Du Bois, his family
was
in Massachusetts. So we have been here. We have roots and we have boots on the ground here. We also need to build our legacy right here. At the same time, we look to better the lives of our brothers and sisters back home. To me, that's a way to approach it on parallel tracks. But without a more strategic approach, I think we're missing the objective altogether. And I think the kind of platform that NAAHP provides should be, and especially that second day, the Haiti and the diaspora day. To me, that's a way that's the kind of platform that is required. And one thing for sure is we have to think about Haiti differently. Based on my work in Haiti the past 19 years now, I can tell you that there's a lot happening in Haiti that we don't know of.
That's true.
And it's not talked about for the most part, because there's so much bad that comes to the surface. We don't talk much about the good that is taking place. And they are very, very, I work with young people, and I'm telling you, they do amazing work. And given the resources and the connection, they can actually change their communities, and they envision a better world. We need to provide them that platform, but we need to think about Haiti differently. So that's one of the reasons why this platform is so important in November. We have to think differently. We have to think big. Right now, as I said, HDI has been making small grants in rural communities across Haiti. One of our partners went from getting a grant from us for $10,000, went to 15,000 and 25. And today I'm telling you that partner is managing a processing plant that is worth $2 million.
Wow.
And is serving communities where they're handing checks to people over, like, can you imagine a farmer receiving a check of $1 million, of $1 million good, 5 million good? This is unheard of. However, it's happening in Haiti.
Yes.
And I want to make sure that we can talk about things like that. And that's why, while we're doing the small things right now, in the small grants right now in Haiti, we are putting now emphasis on economic livelihoods, and not just economic livelihoods by creating small temporary jobs, but we're thinking now about economic development that is inclusive, that is equitable, but at scale.
Good.
One of our initiatives right now is we're part of a collaborative that brings 10 partners together. We purchased 40 acres of land to build some sort of a campus, but it's a development hub that brings together healthcare, that brings together agriculture, economic development, education, in the same space, but it's going to be a hub. And then the first anchor for that, we work with Breedspan. We have a market. We have a master plan put together. We have a strategic plan put together. But the land, as I said, and we're ready to go. We are looking now for financing. It's going to be an $18.7 million project. But the key is for me, and why I'm happy talking to you about this. We've done so much work now where we have enough partners that we should talk about the big things, and we should talk about Haiti in different terms, in way not of grants, not of gifts or donations, but in investments.
Yes.
So our first project, our anchor for this campus, is the Agri-Food Entrepreneurship Center.
Okay.
That center, what it does is it creates a way to change the way agriculture is thought about.
Okay.
What it does is a farmer, we're gonna accompany 25,000 people in the coast of Arcahaie.
Okay.
25,000 people, and what we'll do is we'll get to farmers. Farmers will have a way to access quality seeds, quality equipment, quality inputs, and they'll be able to access. We'll create an entrepreneurship center that will have that, and that has already started. Incubator, accelerator, and it will create small, medium enterprises, and also we'll have a processing plant. From 2018 to 2021, we lost $450 million in crops, and that's post-harvest. So what I mean by that is we're telling farmers to produce. They do produce, but because we don't have the facilities for them to store the goods, and we don't have the large facilities that actually is able to process them, and it's not, and what exists are too far from them, they lose all of that post-harvest. So that is one way for us to change that, because we'll be able to have on site a processing plant that will have also a storage. We will process goods, and we will do all the packaging, and we will get that to market. And at the same time, what it does, we won't do that by ourselves. Young people will have a different way of thinking about agriculture. Yes. Imagine, for example, you no longer have to use a woo as a young man or a young woman,
Sepet.
what you're gonna do is you can develop a small an enterprise that, for example, a farmer needs fertilizer or compost.
Mm-hmm.
All you do is you provide the compost or the fertilizer. No longer should a farmer do A to Z
Right.
to harvest. What can happen is young people can go to school and still be in agriculture by providing services directly to a farmer that does not have to involve them having to use a hoe that their father and their grandfather was using. They can create a business that simply takes the goods from the field to the processing plant, and they'll have all the accompaniment they need with the funding to create the business and all the help they would need to do that. So it's a way for us to begin to change the way things are done, not donations, but investment. Let's invest in our young people. Let's invest in our women, especially because there's no change in Haiti if we don't empower and facilitate access to equitable opportunity for women and girls. It's not going to happen.
No. You're talking my language. I spent time working on a farm, and when I hear agriculture, I get a great warm feeling inside. So I'm excited about it. I think that one of the things that we want for all of our friends that are watching is that there is a seat at the table. Haiti needs all of us. The fact that we can elevate ourselves in a country like the United States or any other modern country, there's a reason for that. And now that we are blessed to be in this position, there's nothing wrong with holding the door open for our fellow countrymen and women. And so when you hear these types of things being explained to you, it means two things. One, the infrastructure is already there. Already there. HDI has laid it out. They have done their due diligence to be able to make it sustainable. If you keep hearing that vocabulary word, lock it in. But also, it means that you have less to worry about because administrative work is not easy, okay? Doing your due diligence is not easy. And so if there's an organization that has done the legwork already in the past at an earlier point in time, there's nothing wrong with inserting yourself with the skills and the capacity and the knowledge that you bring that is always unique, with that creativity that only you possess, and you use that to benefit a long-lasting organization. I think part of it too is that we have to take away that stigma, remove that stigma in Haiti that says there are only 3 or 4 opportunities and professional careers that you can gravitate towards to be successful. Sure, that may have been something in the past, and maybe it's a stigma that was birthed out of necessity, and so they ran with it. Rightly so, right? Anywhere from lawyer, doctor, engineer, pastor, and then people left the agricultural field. Tandis que, if you don't have agriculture in a country, it's only a matter of time before you start hearing imports, tariffs, and now you're relying on other countries to sustain your livelihood. That's scary. So my word of caution for those of you who are trying to find out what can you contribute to the success of not only the diaspora, but Haiti, well, it doesn't matter what area and field that you have a career in, and it doesn't matter your aptitude. If you are just starting as a beginner and you've just secured that internship, or you are a seasoned professional with decades of experience and you are in a position of leadership and you are calling the shots at the position that you are in, then yes, you have the opportunity to dive in, roll up your sleeves, and get to work. So when I hear those types of things, thank you for that, because it means a lot, Pierre. It really does.
No, it really at the end of the day, where we've seen so much chaos and poverty, and what we got to know that despite those challenges, we can actually set ourselves on a path for to self determination, and also making sure that we can create opportunities for people, especially we have a country that is very much that's chronically been inequitable. The social inequities in our society, considering when you look at Usot La Ville, Usot Andeyo, and it's you follow the investment over the years since our founding, it's followed that. And for us to really think through now, it's really how do we change this and turn it on its head. And you're seeing it even today. Not to get in the politics here, but you're seeing pretty much everything. What's happening now? There's so much to be done. How do we shore up the spaces and consolidate the spaces that are still where our people are still flowing free, where there's some life? How do we consolidate those spaces? By putting first securing them, so that we don't have the flow of violence going to them. We don't do that. Now that we have some opportunity to do that, we don't. But we start investing all of that resource again in Port-au-Prince, when we could have done the other way. Start in the countryside, secure livelihoods, because we're talking about when producing people. Let's secure those areas so that we can raise production. Let's create opportunities by investing in infrastructure. Especially, you have young people. We have roads. We have tribunal. We have hospitals. We have schools that needs painting, that needs rebuilding, that needs a new roof, and so forth. There's a lot that can be done that creates jobs that for young people right now today in Haiti, that can give them a stake in their community. Remember, there's one thing, and you're probably familiar with this. Martin Luther King said, "There's nothing worse than having people living in a community that where they don't feel they have a stake in it. If they don't have a stake in it, they won't protect it, and they will flee it, so to speak."
Yeah.
So what we could do, and what we should start, what we've been trying to do at HDI, is trying to give people that stake in their community, and I think the best way to do that is making sure that we can create those opportunities, especially outside of Port-au-Prince. And this is just for me, because decentralization is a principle for us.
Awesome.
But at the end of the day, we can do so much more if we give the people who are thirsty for justice, thirsty for opportunity, creating the enabling mechanism for that to happen.
Right. No, that's true, because truth be told, when you know that a country is thriving, it's when every corner of that country is profitable. There is not an area that is left untouched or developed, right? There are opportunities for every part of the departments of Haiti, and everyone contributes to the country in their own unique way. We live in America, the United States of America, and you can go to the Grand Canyon, you can go to the West Coast, you can, well, we wouldn't recommend, maybe after the hurricane passes through, then you can go to Florida, you can go to New England and see a perfect fall weather. And so every part of the country is thriving, and then they all contribute to the economy of it all. So that's important. So thank you for mentioning that. That decentralization thing, I'm telling you, comme Haïtien, on nous retire penser ça dans l'esprit nous. C'est pas seulement Port-au-Prince qui gagne, il y a l'autre côté dans le pays. Tant pis, s'il vous plaît.
C'est tout l'autre côté on fait partie des pays. Même gens nous tout et quel que soit à côté nous hier, nous toujours senti et fierté des saliniennes, fierté l'ouverturienne, nous toujours senti et tout l'autre monde ça autour et qui a vécu sous terre ça naturellement et yo senti même bagarre là tout. Alors il faut que nous pensions avec comment nous bailler opportunité. But the key thing to go back is like NAAHP also has there's hometown associations that used to be very big 10 years ago.
Right.
And those hometown associations are doing a lot of work in rural communities because people are connected to those communities, but they also are living here in the diaspora. So when you go to an NAAHP meeting, you find leaders who are leading some of these, a lot of these organizations, and sometimes they help each other solve problems and they connect each other to resources, and that's to me the power of convening, the power of being in the same space, because there's a lot of things that you don't have to take the word alone.
No,
the journey is not just ours. We can share it, share in it.
Absolutely, that's critical, and that's one of the things that we honestly take pride in, is the fact that if we are going to have this network of professionals that are going to spend their time and money and show up at a conference, please take something away from it that you can latch on to and say, wow, it was worth every single penny, dime, and hour and minute of my time. And I can't wait for the next one to share in that bubble of inspiration. There's something to say with being surrounded by like-minded people, having that thirst for greatness again, the momentum of getting things done. Maybe you were stuck and needed some more inspiration, and you hear a story of HDI and you're like, wow, this is just what I needed to get up and continue on. So that's awesome.
Absolutely. And you know, the one thing is I have to say, I can't tell you enough how difficult it is to run an organization, to put things in, putting things in perspective and moving the needle. And for NAAHP to continue to do this work, when for the most part, we understand that most of the leaders actually are doing this volunteering to serve the community. There's no greater notion of service than that. You know, one of the things we do is we have a program that we are developing. It's a public service program for local government, and it's we're partnering with a university here in Massachusetts to develop this program. It's a program to help for local governance administration. We would where you take folks through a process of understanding and developing the skills needed to administer a city, and at the same time developing the tools for that level of administration, and rooting that in the Haitian administration, in Haitian laws, and you know the fiscal and legal framework that allows one to administer a city, getting people ready to serve their community in terms of understanding how do you deal with a constituent, what it means to be a constituent, and also how do you communicate with that constituent, and also how do you bring people together to plan, and basic social skills are also is part of this process. But one of the piece for us is that we're looking forward to engaging the diaspora as part of our mentorship program, the mentorship component of this program. So that those of us here who have the knowledge and have the experience of doing this at whatever level in government can share with us, not by taking what's here, but by sharing the experience to support the local context, but still rooted in local context. And at the end of the day, it's that piece. But the most important thing is we want people to come out of this program. It's a 12-month program, but we want people to come out of this program with a different sense of public service.
Okay.
I as someone who served in government, I'm a public servant. That understanding, that level of understanding, we want to get to. Naturally, we know the context we live in Haiti is different, difficult, but we have to prep the people who are going to govern us, because it's time that the Haitian that we as a people we tell them, our leaders, that we will no longer accept that they misgovern us.
Right, mediocrity.
So, and for us to do that, we also have to make sure that we prepare the people who would do that. And there's no better way to do that than starting at the local level. And that's the way for me. It's like when you look at it, if you have good governance,
yes,
good and strong institutions,
yes,
you have good leaders,
yes,
good leadership, good institutions that are effective at what they do, it will lead to good governance. Absolutely. And if we have good governance, we will have a number of communities that are well run for the welfare of those who live in them. And at the end of the day, we'll see a different Haiti. So that's a part of our perspective for the next 5 years. That's our contribution. That will be our contribution.
Oh, that's exciting. That I can't wait to see how that develops, because I know it's going to be great. I think you all have proven that whatever you touch, after hard work and great implementation and all the wisdom that you all possess as an organization, is going to happen. It's going to be amazing, and a lot of lives are going to be changed because of it. So thank you for the inside scoop. So Pierre, I think I've taken up a lot of your time. So I'm gonna let you go and let the audience go, because I think we need to continue this conversation at the conference.
Absolutely, I'm definitely looking forward to it. I mean, anyone who doesn't show up in Atlanta this year for this conference, I think will miss out a lot.
A lot. Come down and get some of that Southern hospitality. So before we leave, I would love for you to share some of the contact information and outreach that you all are doing across the platforms. How can we get in touch with the organization and maybe you?
Thanks. This is if anyone wants to contact us, really, it's our website is HDIHaiti.org. We're also we're also in an initiative of the Boston Foundation. So the Boston, folks can find us at the Boston Foundation and tbf.org at the same time. We also have another website that is connected to us, is collectiveacadien.org, which is the initiative that I mentioned. It's taking on a life of its own now, and growing. But email is pnoel@hdi.org, hdihaiti.org, and also I can be reached at pierre.noel@tbf.org. And we're very much looking forward to being in Atlanta, mingling with folks, that Southern hospitality take into that. And really looking forward to, if you run into us, we're going to have a booth actually at the hotel on site. We'll have information to share, and looking forward to great conversation. And as I said, that type of platform, oftentimes this is not funded enough. There's not enough money to do it, but it's also it's catalytic if we want to see change.
Yes, that's critical. I'm glad you mentioned that. Oh, that's fantastic. I think that those of you who spent time with us and listening to this conversation, I want two things from you. One, I truly hope that you're inspired, because there's something to say with success in this domain and being able to show receipts for all of the things that you all have been able to accomplish. And we know that in your good grace that you will always have the story ready and available, the mission ready and available to share with those who want to be able to get involved. So thank you. Thank you for being able to produce this type of atmosphere and environment for Haitians to thrive in, especially being birthed out of that horrible necessity in 2010 to growing and now going into its 15th year. And we can see all of the success that has followed along with it. The other thing I want our audience to remember to do is that you need to register. You need to register for the conference. Please go and register. The website is simple. It's NAAHPUSA.org. It's simple. Please go and register. Sign on in. Lock in, if you're traveling out of state, lock in your lodging arrangements, your transportation. You're a few days, about a month and change out. So you have plenty of time, but not so much time. So there is some sense of urgency to lock it in. And then make sure that if you're going to, if you're coming from in-state or in one of the nearby states, then go ahead and plan your carpool. If you have friends and family that are in town, make sure you ask them to say, hey, I'll be there for the weekend. Don't worry, I'll help with groceries. We would love for everyone to be able to experience an incredible time that we're anticipating for the 10th annual conference of NAAHP. Pierre, are there any last words that you would like to share with our audience as we wrap up this conversation that I think will continue maybe even after this, and definitely in the conference?
Oh, absolutely. There's always a lot. There's always a lot to share. But truly, we really have to be taking the lead in our own development. It's our destiny is on our hands, and we need these kinds of platforms to come together for these types of conversations. But what then happens from these things is going to depend on our commitments to each other, and our commitments to the institute, to build institutions that can stand the test of time, and like NAAHP, HDI for that matter, but also supporting each other's vision in terms of seeing communities across the diaspora, Haitian communities across the diaspora that are thriving, and also making sure that we can connect. And that level of commitment and love for Haiti to build thriving communities where children and families can thrive. That is our commitment, and we definitely would love everyone's support. Please, it's if you cannot support financially, we'd love. We need ambassadors. We need champions for this work. We cannot do this alone. Everyone has a role to play. Oftentimes we think it's only financial roles, but believe it or not, we all have a role that we can play. We need expertise who can serve, who can provide support to local organizations, mentor local leaders. If you're in, for example, marketing, there's a lot happening in Haiti that is not being shared. To change the narrative, bring forth your expertise. So all of us have a role to play. We look forward to meeting everyone in Atlanta at the conference, but also we look forward to all of you being engaged, if not with HDI, but with someone doing some good for the welfare of our communities right here in the diaspora and also back home in Haiti.
Wonderful. Well put. You laid it out. There is nothing left uncovered. Pierre, on behalf of the National Alliance of the Advancement of Haitian Professionals, myself, and the rest of the team and my colleagues, we want to say thank you. Thank you to HDI for being able to be one of our amazing partners at this year's conference. We thank you for the unwavering support over the years, for your friendship that we have built over this time. We thank you. We appreciate all that you all are doing, and we look forward to seeing you at the conference and everyone else who's going to register and sign up and attend. We look forward to seeing you. We both are going to be there, so we look forward to seeing you as well. So don't be a stranger. Show on up and have great conversation. Nous parlons créole, pas de problème.
No, n'importe Jean Vini n'apprend.
Yes.
It's really, it's my pleasure. Thank you, and I'm grateful for the platform. I'm grateful to be included.
Wonderful, wonderful. Once again, this is Samuel Buissereth, and thank you, and have a great evening. Take care. Bye-bye.